Superior Shelby, and I'm so blessed to be here. As I'm always blessed to have you guys in my live stream. Okay, you don't have to be here, but you are here with your business friend. I just wanted to have a live Q&A about grants. As you guys know, this is going to be my last week talking about how to search and apply to a grant, what a grant is for your startup and small business, how you can find them, and what my experience has been like. I'm a 10-year entrepreneur, so I've been doing this for 10 years. I'm a 71% successful grant writer, and I travel the world helping so many different startups, tech companies get grant funding so they can have the capital needed to develop and start on their idea. So, welcome into my live stream. This is going to be my last week talking about this because this is the last week of quarter 1, okay? And we are done with startup talk. I'm ready to start talking to those businesses that are tech businesses already generating revenue and already have something to show, some sort of impact to show, right? So I'm even in my own transition. Now we're going to have our own like business conversation. I want us to like be vulnerable in this conversation today. And I just want us to have a safe space where we can just be honest with each other and just talk about the reasons for why we might be in the same startup cycle, or simply the reasons for why we're not going for these debt-free opportunities that do not check your credit. You don't need any of your personal information like your ID or social security number. And you don't have to provide any bank income statements because it's not like traditional lending. Traditional lending opportunities are like those loans, lines of credit, and credit cards. But I don't talk about that on my channel at all because I don't want you guys to be in worth $200,000 or more worth of debt like myself. See, since COVID, I took out a $200,000 SBA loan, and it is not fun paying it back. I also want us to have a slight conversation about taxes too, because I just filed my taxes, and as an entrepreneur, these taxes, it just seemed like every year it gets higher and higher and higher. Right now, I owe about $12,000 in taxes. So I'm going to talk to you guys about how TurboTax is actually helping me with lowering that tax bill so I don't, while I'm abroad, I can still afford to live. You know what I mean? So welcome on into the conversation, friend. I'm Superior Shelby, a 71% successful grant writer. This is going to be my last conversation talking about how to search and apply to grants. I have over 6 years worth of content on my YouTube channel that teaches you how to search and apply to grants, where you can find them, and how you can increase your capital opportunities so you can have the necessary means to be able to invest into your ideas. Okay, so welcome in, you guys. Mm. Full disclosure, I don't drink, so this is literally pineapple juice and strawberry juice. Okay. All right. Good morning. All right. So I want you guys to ask me any questions that you guys might have. This is literally, like I said, safe space that we can talk about um, grants. We can talk about business development, any questions that you have. I don't know any other business coach that comes on live on any social media platforms and allows you guys to literally have what's called like a free consultation in a way. See, these conversations that we have is more than just like, oh, you're just on live with a woman. No, this is like a safe space for you to be vulnerable enough to say, hey, I have this question in my development process and I just would like to know, how does this work? Right? So welcome on into the chat, you guys. Okay, let me see. All right, so grants. Now, I have been, like I said, traveling the world, helping people search and apply to grants and also applying to grants for people. I've been doing this for 10 years. And am I connected again? Sorry, guys. Let me see. Okay. So sorry if my connection's in and out. You guys know I'm in Nigeria. So sometimes my data can be not so good, and I don't like that. I'm actually looking at my YouTube studio now to see like what you guys are looking at, and it doesn't seem clear. So I really do apologize for that. And yeah, but we're still going to continue on. If it's in and out, I'm so sorry, but we're here. Okay. And I still want to give you guys the opportunity to ask me questions. All right, so I have one question. It says, how can I get a grant for my small business? I'm from Nigeria. Well, you can visit like grantwatch.com. You can go to other sites like Generator. For global-based businesses, it's best that you go for what's called Accelerator programs. Accelerator programs are really good for global-based businesses because you don't have to worry about the necessary registration or paperwork that's needed for like US based businesses. A lot of my clients are based in the US because my business is based in Miami, Florida. I'm from Miami, but I do assist clients in the UK as well as here in Nigeria. And when I do apply to grants for you guys that are global, right, and you have some amazing innovations and um, new ideas, well, going for accelerator programs is your best bet simply because, and honestly, if we're talking personal here, I actually like accelerator programs way better than just regular traditional grants, simply because accelerator programs provide you not only with the necessary capital, but also the networking opportunities so you can possibly get more sponsors, donators, and investors. And then also it provides you with other perks and deals and mentorship. So you get more of a tailored one-on-one, like concierge type of development type of process, right? So you'll be able to speak with someone who has experience in your particular industry where you can ask some like real thorough detailed questions and actually get some good answers, and someone who will walk along the steps. Like having a getting approved to an accelerator program or an incubator is like having that mentor that's going to hold your hand through the entire process, and you also get money so that way you can develop. So go for accelerator programs. You can simply Google them. Y Combinator, sorry, is one. Y Combinator is actually very well known. They help develop Twitch, right? Which is like the world's, well, these kids love it. It's like the world's number one streaming platform right now. It helped develop DoorDash, Uber Eats, Airbnb, and so many more. So if you are global, I say go for accelerator programs. What other questions do you guys have about grants and stuff? And I'm sorry if the data like comes in and out. If you guys don't know, I am in Nigeria. I've been in Nigeria for about 6 months now. And it's been a pleasure, honestly. And I really want to do more content about like me leaving and, like what my whole entire experience has been like moving here, because I'm definitely not moving back to the US. I haven't lived in the US in the last 3 years. So this new location is quite nice. I even thought about moving to Thailand. So I don't know. That might be like another place I'll probably go to. hmm Yeah. So in my years of experience, most of my clients that actually win grants are businesses that are already generating revenue. And that's why I'm taking this last week to answer any of you guys' questions regarding like grants for startups and grants for small businesses, because we're at the end of quarter one, and quarter one is usually the time where most of you guys who are just getting into entrepreneurship, you're a startup, whatever have you, you should have like gotten your LLCs, your whole entire business setup should be done by now, and we should be focusing on generating revenue. Now, it's important to develop the mindset around that too, because the mindset should not be, oh, I need some capital in order to start. I always ask, like, what's the best way that you can actually generate revenue now? So you can start to show, like, how the grant would actually be impactful to your development process. So, for example, if you are not in one of those industries that, even if you are in one of those industries that require a lot of money, like trucking, right? Transportation. Well, say you want to do delivery, you want to do freight, and you want to eventually get like a semi truck. Well, it may be best that you start small. How about like start delivering in your local area, right? Maybe you can start like a medical courier service. And the cool thing about medical courier services, or any type of courier service locally, is that you can actually use the vehicle that you currently have now. And if you don't have a vehicle, you can always rent a vehicle, right, under your business name, especially through Enterprise. Enterprise is really good about that. And you can use that as like a business expense. You can also write it off on your taxes. Yes. Right now, I owe about $12,000 in taxes, and it is not fun. But yesterday, I had a conversation, really nice consultation with a nice guy through TurboTax, and he was able to help me get a really big tax break, bringing my taxes that I have to pay, um, bringing it down from 12,000 down to 8,000. Right, so we're still trying to lower that down. We're still trying to lower that down, but it's very interesting side of the tax conversation, because I never received a tax refund honestly since I was in college, and that has been a long time ago. I'm not going to say I'm not going to say, but it's been a long time, and I don't have any dependents, or I don't have any children at all. So because I don't, I've always had to pay taxes, and that's just kind of been my entire entrepreneurial journey. This year, my taxes was actually more than expected, and having that conversation with TurboTax really did help me out with understanding different things that as a content creator as well as an entrepreneur that I can write off, including my meals, my travel expenses, even down to like Ubers, right, and all that good stuff. So I want to have that conversation probably in a separate video about, like, as a content creator and as a 10-year entrepreneur, what I write off on my taxes, and what how I was able to get, like, honestly, like, what, over $5,000 tax break, right? So that's going to be cool. So yeah, I'll probably do a separate video about that. What other questions do you guys have for me, like regarding grants and how to search and apply to grants? I've actually been coming on here every day, almost every day. When I'm not sick, right? So almost every day, and at 9 a.m. Eastern time. So this is kind of early for you guys. And I'm always having this conversation about how to search and apply to grants and stuff. But because we are finalizing in the last 6 days of quarter one, this is it. I'm not going to talk about that anymore. You're just going to have to simply watch all of my videos and try to catch up. I'm also not going to be committing to coming on live every day. I did that for the first quarter, and to be honest with you guys, what it did for me, I didn't make a lot of impact like I thought I would. I was hoping that I would, but I really just gained about, like, I didn't really make a big impact like I thought I would. So what I decided was I wanted to go back to the drawing board. See, I have my own business goals, you guys, like, and I've also came to realize, especially in these last 2 days, because these past 2 days I haven't been getting on live at all. And I've just been kind of like relaxing because I really need to, like, ease up on the pressure that I even put on myself. I have my own, like, business goals, right? And it's things that I want to be. I have to show that I'm measuring my impact and things that I'm doing, right? And so in quarter one, what I was expecting and what my goals was, I did not come close to that versus what I did last year. And so I also started putting this pressure on myself, like, what happened? Like, what did I do? Or what is going on? And I do keep up with politics, I do keep up with economics, but it's also like, it can be discouraging because it's like, how do I put this? Like, I don't know, a lot of people are going through their own, like, things, but then it like financial challenges. But then also, this is the perfect time for you to actually search for my type of content because you are going through, like, a financial challenge in your startup or in your small business, right? Because I'm talking about applying for grants that you don't have to pay back, and it's literally free money. So it was kind of like a challenge. It's kind of it is a challenge actually to come to this point where I'm like, all right, I'm gonna pull back. I feel like I've done enough content. You guys have so many live streams of me consistently coming on here every day, 9 a.m. Eastern time. And I think that it's time for me to just kind of chill. Maybe I've given out too much free game. Maybe I have, you know, and I also have courses that are like less than $40. Like, maybe I've done too much for this type of crowd or this type of audience, or maybe I just have to build that audience. And I thought that's what I was doing. But I guess, I don't know. I have to figure out a more creative way, or just, I don't know, present this in a different way. So I'm literally going to take these next, like, couple of days and just kind of talk to God about it and see what's what's next. And it is quite scary because it's like, I do want my YouTube to continue to go up. And one thing about being a content creator, something that I can give advice to, is don't be so hard on yourself about the numbers. And that's something that I even have to tell myself, because the numbers, right, can really make you feel like when that number goes down, when your YouTube check goes down, when your subscriber count goes down, all of that stuff, it can really demotivate you. And I'm feeling a little bit of discouragement and demotivation, and then also feeling like, um, I don't know, maybe I just have to go back to the drawing board, or maybe I just have to allow my content to catch up to the people that are maybe searching for it or will be searching for it, right? So when there's a demand, maybe I'll come back and do consistent live streams. But in the meantime, I'm just going to allow you guys to continue to have the digital courses that's on my Etsy that teach you how to write a business plan and a pitch deck, how to search and apply to grants, incubators, and accelerators, how to apply for a UEI number, all of those good things, all of those courses, less than $40, they're on my Etsy. But coming on, I've been consistent with coming on live for the first quarter. Actually, not even just for the first quarter, like since November, since last year, I've been very consistent with coming on live every day, 9 a.m. Eastern time, but and even 5 p.m. So because I'm in Nigeria, I'm 6 hours ahead. So that means I have to stay up until like 11, 12 at night. And yeah, and I just feel like the impact is not there. Maybe, I don't know, maybe it's the YouTube algorithm, whatever have you, but I have to find a more creative way to do this. And I think that just taking my time and taking care of myself, and then just getting back to the drawing board. So what that means for me, right? So you guys know I search and apply to grants. I've been doing this for 10 years, but I also feel like it's time for me to kind of get out of that space too. And now that I'm abroad, there's different things that I'm investing my money into. Um, so I'm investing my money into agriculture. So what that looks like is I bought some cows, right? Some, like, I bought actual cows here in Nigeria, and it's like Ramadan. So when that period is over, then I should be selling my cows. I'm also going to open up an Amazon store so that way I can sell my Fasara black soap through there, which I found a much more affordable way to send my products. And then it's not even just going to be African black soap, because there's so many African black soap distributors out there, but also other like dry goods that you can get from Africa and from Nigeria, like um, hibiscus, turmeric, dry pepper, things like that you can cook with, or you can add on to your own recipes or whatever have you, right? So agriculture is one thing I'm investing in. Real estate, right? So I've always invested into international real estate. I like international real estate more than I do real estate in the U.S., simply because um, the fact that I don't like the idea of that you buy a property and you never really own it, because if you don't pay taxes on it, then it goes up for auction. So that is not a thing outside the U.S. International real estate is more of, if you got the money and you pay for the land, you own the land. That's it, right? And there is no taxes. Nobody's coming to regulate anything. That's just literally it. So international real estate, where I'm doing Airbnb, more and more people are traveling, right? This is starting to be good. So because I know more and more people are traveling, definitely investing into that. And tech, right? So I'm a co-founder of two tech ideas. One is for general services. The other one is a fintech app. And fintech is financial tech. And so, yeah, I have like my hands in like three major markets that I feel like I need to focus on. And I pray that you guys, like, take the time out to really watch my videos, and, learn how to search and apply to grants yourself, because the services and things like that, I think that I'm really coming to an end with doing this grant thing. I mean, 10 years of doing it is quite interesting. I think I'm only going to offer the services, like I said, only to like tech companies and like high ticket clients that I meet in person. And I understand that this new target audience and market that I'm going for, they're not on YouTube. Like, they don't have time to be on YouTube. They don't have time to be on YouTube. So I'm not going to have the time to be on YouTube either. I need to go out and get my clients. And that's literally me saying that I'm taking my own advice that I even give to you guys, and I'm going out to go get my clientele too. See, I'm not going to sit here and just wait on a grant. No, I'm not. Even though I apply to grants myself, I'm not going to wait on a grant. I still have to go out and search for it. Hey, what's up, 7 star? Yes, of course. So this is the last week of me talking about searching and applying to grants. This is also my last week coming on live, as consistent as I have been. You probably won't see me on live for like another, who knows, like a month or so. So you guys enjoy this, okay? Because Superior Shelby's about to go on a whole nother adventure, and I'm just asking God to be with me because I have no idea what this is going to look like for me at all. Mm-mm. And I'm fearful. Like I'm so afraid. Like I have no idea where my money is gonna come from. I'm in a whole nother country. Um, I don't know how I'm going to make it at all. I don't even make $1,000 off of my YouTube every month, and I'm living off of like probably like anywhere between $600 to $800 a month off of my YouTube. So thank God I actually live in another country because I would never be able to live off of $800 a month in the US at all. So, and then the money that I do get right from YouTube, which is like my main stream of income, and then some of you guys like buy courses. I don't make $10,000 a month. That's just, I'm gonna clear that up right there. I don't. But the money that I do make, the small little bit that I do make, I invest it into very small, into other things that can potentially bring me money. And so I thank God that I live outside the US, where I don't have to focus on like the rat race, which means I have to make $10,000 a month. No, I live off of like $1,000, if that, a month. Um, and that also kind of like makes me sad a little bit because like my income goals and my goal is to make like $1 million in 1 year, and I feel like I'm so far away from that. I'm so far away from that, like, I'm so far away from that goal. But I also feel like God is hearing me and is like, I hear you. I hear you. So what you've been doing, yesterday on Mondays, I go for Monday prayers with my fiance. And something that the pastor said, he said, we opened up Joel in the Bible, Joel chapter 2, verse I think 23 through 26, right? And it talks about like some people can have like what is called a cankerworm, and a cankerworm could be like this spirit or something that is keeping you in the same cycle, or that's stealing your years away, or that's taking things away from you and not allowing you to develop. I feel like since my last relationship, for the past like 5 years or so, I've been doing the same thing with grants, with advertising to you guys, with my content. Like nothing has really developed much besides me coming on YouTube consistently. And then it's like once one thing works, I like stick with it, right? And then I just run it through the mud. But I feel like I have not truly developed for real. And because of that, I feel like I've wasted a lot of years and time in a way. And I haven't really lived to my full potential or allowed my business to grow to its full potential. And I talked about this like last week about procrastination and fear, and about how even though I show up on YouTube and I've never been camera shy. So that's just one thing. I've always been photogenic, but I've also not allowed myself to grow and go to networking events like I should, or speak directly to people, or advertise to different people about what I do, in different markets, simply because of that procrastination and fear, like the fear of, can I provide a good service to them, or what does that look like with leaving YouTube, and when I leave YouTube, where's my income going to come from, right? So like I said earlier, you guys, majority of my mainstream of income is YouTube, right? And so if just said to you guys that I'm not going to come on live anymore, and I depend on these views, right? I depend on you guys like showing up. I depend on you guys watching my videos and also buying my courses and things like that. then you can only imagine how fearful I am in making this decision by not coming on here anymore and changing directions and trying to focus on something different. So I'm like, I gotta do something has to give at this point. Something has to give. Hey, how's it going? So yeah, you can't do both. Like, no, no. If you left us tomorrow, you will be fine. You left us with all the tools of success. Thank you so much. Yeah, yeah. I feel like I'm just like I'm tired, and that's really what it is, honestly, Sarah. Like I'm tired. I've been coming on here like consistently, and I feel like I depend so much on this one stream of income, and I've even talked about like because we talked about this in the last 2 weeks, like depending on the reasons for why most startups stay in the same startup cycle. And I was also talking to myself too, and I'm really good at taking accountability. You guys know that. So like doing something consistently, like when it works, and not elevating from there, right? And I feel like I come on here. I've had my goals, right? My quarter 1 goals, but I didn't even come close to reaching it. Like, for example, applying to the $10,000 grant for you guys. When I did that exercise last year, I applied for the same $10,000 grant, or it was $5,000 last year. I applied to that same grant for over 800 businesses in 30 days. Now, I did this same exercise at the same time this year, 2024, right? And I only got if like 100 businesses that I did this for. My goal was to apply for this same like for this $10,000 grant for like 1,000 businesses because in my mind it was like it worked last year. Let's see if it will work again this year. And I took a look at all my content. I'm like, what changed? What was different? I was living in Panama. That was the only the only difference was I was living in Panama and I was by myself and just doing the same, like it's the same exact thing. I was coming on here at 9 a.m. It's literally the same thing. And I only applied to this grant for 100 businesses. And I'm like, what is going on? And I feel like it has nothing to do with me or anything like that. It's literally God saying, no, I let you slide on that one last year because you actually listened. That was something new for you. Now it's time for you to do something new again. You think you can do, I'll let you slide a little bit, you'll make a little something off of this, but it ain't gonna be like $30,000 in 30 days like you did last year. Like that's not gonna happen. And it's time for you to elevate. You have to go to a different, you need something. It's time for you to get out of this. You've been doing this for too long. And I think that's my exit call. It might be time for me to get out of this. And I've also been like quite tired too. Not even gonna lie. Like, yeah. So it's yeah. Okay, well, I wish you luck. Yeah, thank you. hmm I have no idea where like what's next. And I hope you guys like use me as a really good example. I'm hoping that like I motivate you guys to move forward in what you're doing because it can be scary, like taking a leap of faith and going into like a different direction than what you're used to. And then so I'm doing the same thing. I'm literally telling you that this is my last week doing this. Last week, like accepting startup clients. Last week talking about like grants and stuff because you know, I'm still going to produce YouTube videos, obviously, but they're going to be more pre-recorded videos that honestly, like I've been feeling like I want to put so much energy into um, providing like some more like really good content, like good, like clarity, crystal clear, good edits, all of that stuff. And I feel like because I've been coming on here every day, it hasn't allowed me to really even focus on different topics that I can talk about. You know what I mean? So yeah. So I think that it's time to change the change the direction of things. Just do some 10-minute direct straightforward videos. Hopefully these videos catch and you guys like learn more about what a grant is. I think that short form content is what's more needed anyway. And yeah, I think that's like what you guys kind of want, like 10-minute videos. And I know like coming on live, you guys are quite consistent with coming on live with me too. But it's not like it's like thousands of us coming on here every day, like on live. Like no, if it was, then I'd be like, okay, I got to stick with it. But now I'm like, it's less than 100 of us. I do appreciate you guys, but I think it's best that we just call it quits with the daily live streams. I think that we've done enough. Yeah, it is hurtful for sure because I was enjoying it for a while, but then I feel like it's not impactful. And I'm not reaching my goals. And like I said, I want to make $1 million in 1 year. How do I do that? So, you know what I mean? We're gonna have to go to the drawing board and write out, okay, what different streams of income do I have, right? I have digital courses, I have my content, um, and then my other investments like in agriculture, tech, and international real estate. So how can I boost all of those markets, and what strategies do I have to be able to reach my million? Like what are my income goals for each one so I can reach $1 million in 1 year? And it's possible. It's so possible. Like my peers are making millions with an S of dollars annually, and it's like, what? Why am I still in six figures? We we gotta. Something's going on. Hmm. Yeah, and I don't want to be like, hello, how are you? You have health. That is your value now. What do you do with your time is on you. Exactly. Right. And all of my time goes towards like me strategizing and thinking and thinking and thinking and thinking. Like that's what I said. I put like a lot of pressure on myself, and I think that it's time for me to like kind of rest so that way I can hear God say, all right, move left, take 2 steps forward, now go to the right. Like telling me exactly what steps to take because I'm putting so much more. And also God says don't lean on your own understanding. See, the way God operates is not the way that man operate. God can be shifting and moving things and doing things in other people's lives to be able to give me the opportunity that I need. So I might need to take some time to just kind of chill and wait and see what that next thing is for me. I've also like gotten comments like from I've also gotten comments. Sorry, guys, my mom was calling. I've gotten comments from like people who are, um, I don't know, like a few, just like one or two comments that people want to see more of like what I'm doing in Africa and stuff. I feel like my life is boring, but okay, cool. Maybe I can start doing some fun stuff. Um, so yeah, enough about me, you guys. I had to tell my mom I was on live. All right. So what questions do you guys have? Have multiple YouTube pages. Yeah, but that's a lot to try to like run. Mm-mm. Just with my one YouTube page is already enough. Like content is not easy at all. It's not at all. And I'm not like I don't want to do the faceless YouTube thing. I don't want to do it. I like actually like putting people in place and managing and saying, okay, you do this, you do this, you do this. And I'm really good at doing that. Like I'm an awesome CEO. Let's say that. Like I'm a born CEO. Like you can I know how to put things in place and I'm very organized. So you give me the money, I know how to invest it properly, make sure all of the pieces work and they flow. I have great organization skills. So I'm not a person that wants to sit down and edit content. I don't even edit my own content. Like I have a person that edits my videos. Um, so yeah, I don't want to. Content is not where I want to like fully commit my life to at all. You see the price of gold from 2 years ago per ounce. Okay, gold is not my that's not my lane at all. I think it's best that I stick with what I've been investing in and just kind of waiting on God to tell me what to do. Yeah, God operates outside of men's ability, so it's something that God wants me to do that's beyond our understanding. So, what questions do you guys have about grants? Enough about me. We're officially like about to get in our usual time because I think it's 8 a.m., 8:40 a.m. Eastern time. So I came on here early today because I was like, I actually want to spend some time with y'all since it's like the last week that I'll be getting on here. So I want to spend a lot of time. So this live stream is going to be definitely longer than what our usual, our usual 1 hour live streams that start at 9 a.m. Hmm. And I'm still like applying to grants for myself, right? Because there's other things that I'm doing, even with like some of my other friends that are like that I've met here that own their own businesses and cafes and restaurants. And they want to do like their own programs to help startups and small business owners in Nigeria. And they're actually Nigerian. So because I'm a part of those projects, it allows me to apply to grants so that way we can have the capital necessary to do these programs for startups and small business owners here in Nigeria and also in possibly in the US. Maybe we can bring it over there too, the same exact program. And a friend of mine, she's actually a US citizen, but she's Nigerian American. And she also grew up in London. So she has like all three playing fields of how she can like help everyone from the US, from the UK, and then here in Nigeria, which is really cool. It's so good to have like some really cool people to talk to about business too. So yeah, I'm still applying to grants for myself. Question: if you receive grant or grant for businesses, are there heavy restrictions as to how the proceeds are spent or a salary cap? No, not really. There's some grants where they do request what's called like an activity log. An activity log, and that's usually like those grants that are funded through like the federal government. So an activity log is pretty much after you spent the money, they want to know what did you spend the money on, right? So did you spend the money on payroll? Did you spend it on skill development? Did you spend it on product development? And like, what did that look like? How was that impactful? And so, but not all of them request that in the grant world. In most cases, it's just kind of like they don't ask for anything back. But as you, as the entrepreneur, right, it's always good that you actually provide them with an activity log, rather they request it or not, because it helps develop your relationship with that grantor and they know that you are a trustworthy candidate that they can possibly always grant a reward to. So you can build a relationship with the grantors and that will help increase your chances of approvals too. Yeah. Hmm. Yeah. Like I have some of my grant writer peers where they go for like these same at least 10 opportunities that they know for a fact they're going to get approved to, simply because for the last couple of years, or at least since 2020, they've won the grant and they've done right by the grant, right? When the grant say, we're going to give you $10,000 towards payroll, they will use it actually for payroll and provide like a bank statement or the full activity log that says, hey, we hired these couple of people using this money, and it was impactful because it helped us provide more services to our clients who are in need of consulting services or whatever have you. So yeah, you can build a relationship with the grantors for sure. Any other questions you guys have? Mm, I have 2 degrees, MBA and BBA. I feel I have not been able to get in the door because of color barrier. I live in the South. Okay, so what's the question? Hey, how's it going? Good morning for you. Yeah. Mm, that's the cool thing about grants is it doesn't matter what race, gender, ethnic group, sexuality you're a part of. Like, as long as you have an impactful business and a business that can show measurable impact, right? Whereas, like, this is something that's needed in the market, and it's proof that is needed in the market. And you can show, like I said, most of my clients that actually won grants, that won grants, they pretty much are already generating revenue, right? So, for example, for me, right, I am able to win grants because I can show that my courses that I create on how to write a business plan, um, people actually buy those courses, and I actually have testimonies on how good the course is, and it's allowed me to have like almost a 5-star e-commerce rating, right? So because I can show that this digital product, is needed in the market and it's impactful. Well, if I was to win a grant, then I might be able to do like a live event where I'm helping like over 50 businesses and startups actually write their business plan live and in person, which will be very impactful to the community that I serve because they have their business plans and it will help them increase their chances of approvals for certain opportunities that they're going for. So, yeah. The question is, without much capital, must one have to write a business proposal and getting a grant? Yeah, I always say that you should write a business plan and write a pitch deck. A pitch deck is pretty much the PowerPoint version of that. And yeah, what state do you live in? So I live in Nigeria. I don't live in I haven't lived in the United States in like 4 years, 3 years, 3.5 years. So at the end of this year, it'll be 4. Yeah, I left America a long time ago. I still pay my taxes though, and I'm not happy about my tax bill this year. But yes, and I'm an American citizen, so I'm from Miami, Florida. My business is based in Miami. This was actually created in 2021, but I just started really getting revenue in 2024. What do you advise me to do to be more appealing for grants? Just having a business plan, a pitch deck, and a pitch video, and a website, right? Website always looks good. And just showing more brand commitment, right? So make sure your logos look professional, making sure your vocabulary is good. And then also, what makes you more impressive is showing measurable impact, like I said. So, can you show client testimonials? Can you show that you've done some skill development, maybe some courses to increase your skill, right? Can you show like you got certifications in doing something? Um, can you show like how many sales you've gotten since you started your business, right? And how that was able to increase. So in 2021, you created it, but we're in 2024 and you're now starting to get revenue. Well, what happened in those 3 years? Were you able to develop, right? So did you do more training? Did you hire people? Did you increase your product quality? Did you actually go out and get your clients? What was your marketing strategy like? And when you can show that you've persevered since 2021 up till now, and now you're just now generating revenue, Well, just explain that in a business plan and pitch deck, right? When you're explaining all of the strategies that you executed, what didn't work, and how you still persevered and you found what actually worked, then it's like, okay, well, this is a resourceful entrepreneur. They have perseverance, they show grit and determination. That means that if we give them the grant, then they will be resourceful with the opportunity. So, yeah. Can you recommend any sites where we can get assistance to build one? I have a full course on Etsy on how to write your own business plan and pitch deck using AI. It's $30 or $35, so you can always visit my Etsy store. No more free advice. I'm done. Gotta run. Hope to see y'all soon. Peace. Bye bye. Have a great one. Regarding business grants, would you suggest to not over a lot overhead? Wait, to not over a lot of overhead, such as lease or brick and mortar. Uh, so, um, so if you have a business, yeah, you can just provide what your business expenses are. Like, don't lie. You can, because there's grants that are like millions of dollars. So it's just all about, you know what I mean, what you're doing, but still be able to show that you're generating revenue. Like, don't just say, oh, we're not generating any revenue, but I want to hand out a $50,000 or $120,000 simply because um, I emotionally, in my mind, I think that I actually need this capital in order for me to start. When really it's best that you show that you've already been able to generate close to that capital and show what you've actually done with it, right? So if you have a brick and mortar, well, that's one way to say, okay, I've actually invested my own income that I've been able to raise in crowdfunding opportunities, donations. I have some sponsors. I was able to get investors. I used some of my income from my own like 9 to 5. And I got my own barbershop, right? Or salon suite or physical brick and mortar boutique or something. And now that I have this boutique, this is how much money I've been able to generate by opening up this physical location. And if I got this grant, it will be very impactful because I'll be able to enhance the feel, the ambiance of the space, right? So I'll be able to like paint the walls and all that stuff to make it look more appealing, and that will attract more clients in, so I can service them in their needs. And the problem that we solve is X, Y, and Z, and providing the solution would look like this if you were to give us the grant opportunity. So I'm giving you an example of how you can write your grant proposal. No meaning to build a website. GoDaddy.com is what I use. I like GoDaddy. Intellectual property is priceless. Thank you. And I've that also, like, if you watch some of my old videos, I also told you guys like everything that I even have in the courses is already on YouTube for free. It's just up to you searching through the videos and taking your time. Yeah. Mhm. I hope that while I'm on this hiatus, that one day I just go viral from somebody just like taking my clips and reposting it and like saying, this girl has spilled all the beans and it's crazy. I don't know. I hope somebody does a TikTok about me one day and it's like, we had somebody that was consistently coming on YouTube, and now she's decided to just like go into a different direction. Shelby, you're the truth. Thank you so much. Yes, yes. One person actually did a TikTok about that one time, and then my TikTok ended up getting hacked or something like that. I had like over 10,000 followers on TikTok, and then it got hacked. And then I was like, what is this madness? I didn't understand because TikTok is just like, you know what I mean? I've been on social media for a long time, since 2009, and I just kind of feel like I'm done with downloading more apps. So that TikTok page was like the last time, which I created another one, and but somebody did like a TikTok video on like how my information is so good and how I'm always providing like game dropping knowledge. And it's interesting how people are more interested. I think this was a time where, when was this? Was this like through the R. Kelly situation? I think it was like around that time or whatever. And like, so this was years ago. And, or when the whole like documentary or something came out, and like I guess the TikTok, the guy was like, y'all are more interested in this versus this type of content where she's doing this and she's just dropping knowledge for free. And so his video ended up going viral. And then that also made my page go viral. And then before you know it, like it got hacked. It got hacked. Yeah. Which was like such a blessing too, because I was like just coming out of that crazy relationship. So yeah. hmm hmm So you guys, welcome in. For those of you who are coming in, I'm Superior Shelby, as someone resetting the room. I'm Superior Shelby, a 71% successful grant writer, and I am a 10-year grant writer. I have been writing grants for so many different people, startups, tech companies, churches, schools, nonprofits, for-profits, you name it. I've been able to help so many different startups and new ideas get millions of dollars in funding, including myself. I'm a global grant writer, so I write grants not only for US based businesses, but UK businesses and Nigerian based businesses, and so much more. If there is debt free funding out there, I know how to get it. That's just my specialty. And with 10 years in the game, I'm definitely new to not new to this. I'm true to this. Okay. So this live stream is simply about you asking me any question, whether it's like small business development questions, you might need some reassurance. I'm just giving you the safe space to be vulnerable enough to say, hey, this is what I've been struggling with in my development process. How can I get through this so I can start generating revenue and really show up for these grant opportunities? So welcome into my live stream. I do appreciate you joining me, because you don't have to be here with me today, but that means you are looking for an alternative. Okay, so what questions do you have? Purpose, perspective, consideration, and intentions. Reaching masses versus generating millions of dollars, are both serving the people or the pocket. hmm I don't know what that is. What you said. I understand what you're saying, but uh-huh. Yeah. So, what questions do you guys have about grants and all that stuff? I'm sorry, Spirit, you heard what I said earlier. Health is wealth. You are blessed. Absolutely. Thank you so much. Yep. So I'm taking these next days to relax, maybe read more, get more understanding of how I can be different in my content, hmm which is really cool. And I have courses out on how to search and apply to grants, you guys. It's like less than $40. It's like $30 courses that will help you really. And our walkthroughs, like I'll walk you through the actual websites that you should go to and what they look like. And my most recent course is debt free, how to access debt free money or something like that. And I'm talking about not just grants, but incubators and accelerator programs, the difference between the three. And then I also drop some extra sauce in there, like a bonus on like some angel investor search engines that you can go to that will allow you to start searching for investors if that's something that you're interested in and what that looks like. Yep, being best prepared for these grant opportunities is having a business plan, a pitch deck, and a 90-second pitch video, pretty much like a 3-minute video. So the business plan, what that looks like is all of these key factors that simply, you know, thoroughly details and outlines exactly what your business goals are, what is your mission, what is the problem, how you're solving it, who's your target audience, who's your competitors, what differentiates you from your competitors, and how much revenue do you want to generate, right? And how do you plan to do that? Like, what's your marketing strategy? So you need to have that. A pitch deck is pretty much the PowerPoint version of that, right? So a PowerPoint version of that, a couple of slideshows, right? So I have a course out that shows you how to use some different AI tools on that you can use to generate your business plan and your pitch deck. Really cool, some good information. And these are tools that I use. And then also a pitch video. So I went over like how to develop a pitch video last week, and there was a live stream, so I walked you guys through it. But the pitch video is quite direct and simple. It's like you introduce yourself, what's your product or service, what's the problem, how you're solving it. So this is a pitch video, and it needs to be 3 minutes. I've noticed that in these grant applications, they're starting to request a pitch video. So not really so much requesting that you upload your business plan or pitch deck. Now they're wanting a actual pitch video where you're sitting down, like, with your phone and stuff like this, and you're like, talking about what your service or product is, right? And so um, I talked about that last week. You guys can take a look at that live stream on how that works. I might do like a digital course, like step by step on like how to actually build a 3 minute pitch video. I think that that's something you guys might like. I don't really know. And but the ultimately majority of what I would say is actually on YouTube, on my YouTube live stream from last week. And yeah, 3 minute pitch video, and have some B-roll, like some background rolling footage that does, and some nice music that does increase the feel, because you want to be clear, concise, and compassionate. That's what helps increases your chances of approvals with these grants, when everything corresponds. So when you can talk about, oh, like I make these aromatherapy candles, and the reason why I make these candles because I'm solving this problem of stress and anxiety, and when you burn my candles, it gives off this aroma scent that instantly, within the first 90 seconds, relaxes and calms your anxiety, allowing you to actually think straight and be more focused for the day. You can burn these candles 12 to 20 hours in a day. We have a collection of different candles, from lavender to eucalyptus to peppermint, right? And with these candles, we've been able to make this many sales and get this many reviews. Here's some reviews. So maybe you can show, like, pop the reviews up on your pitch video, right? Here's some reviews about our product. And with your opportunity, we'll be able to make bigger candles, and we'll be able to catch more sales, allowing us to reach our sales goals, so we can have the necessary means to hire, to offer, employment to our community that we serve, or that we're based out of, like, which might be, I don't know, El Paso, Texas. Whereas in El Paso, Texas, 30% of, I don't know, like, so and so Black women or women might need a position, and this is something that they might be interested in. Or you don't even have to go that far. You can say, we can provide classes. We can open up a physical brick and mortar that allows us to teach people about, aromatherapy and different scents, and how different scents can calm your anxiety. People can come in and they can make their own candles, which can be like a community type of um, program or project, you know what I mean? Something that is for everybody, no matter what race, gender, ethnic group, or sexuality you're a part of. And, we're just creating that environment where we focus on health is wealth, right? Pretty much. So, yeah. But you want your video to be very, like, compassionate. Okay. Hey, how's it going? Welcome in. hmm So, yeah. Grants want you to be, like, very compassionate. And don't use ChatGPT. Okay, don't use ChatGPT, because there is another AI out here called Zero GPT, where they will download your entire application, your completed submitted application, and they will upload it to Zero GPT. Zero GPT is the world's highest, most top AI detector ever, okay, in the world. It will detect even down to the punctuation, all right, to the punctuation. If you even use a period or a comma or a semicolon from AI, it will be able to detect it, okay? You can use zero GPT even when, like, somebody that you might be dating or talking to, and they see you like this long love letter, and you're like, oh, this sounds very romantic. Copy and paste it into zero GPT and see if they use Chat GPT to actually like write this love note to you. And then once you find out that they use ChatGPT, you're like, you ain't real. This ain't come from the heart, you know. But zero GPT is used all across the world. This was an AI that had to be developed so that students in college and in school wouldn't use ChatGPT on their essays to complete their work. It's important for you to invest in your creative writing skills and develop that. And so, when ChatGPT came out, it was like, oh, whoa, 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 we need an AI that's going to detect the AI, and so that's what came out. And so grantors don't want you to use AI because they don't want the market research or the generalization from AI. Like, you know what I mean? It's artificial intelligence is what it is. It's artificial intelligence. It's not actual intelligence from the individual who's actually doing the work, which is you. So they want to know your story. What made you get into this industry that you're getting into? What makes you so qualified? If you want to get into trucking transportation, well, tell us why, right? Have you been driving trucks for 20, 30 years? And what has that experience been like? Because there has to be a reason why you want to transition from driving trucks for a different company. Now you want to go over to being your own, like, owner operator too. So tell us what your story is. What's your backstory? Everybody has a backstory of why they're getting into things. It's not always, oh, I'm just chasing a bag or I'm just trying to feed my family. Okay, so if you're just trying to feed your family, what does that look like? Like, why did you decide to choose this particular industry to get into, right? And with your answer and the type of answer you deliver on these applications, they'll be able to determine who's a real good candidate versus the ones who are just like trying to run through money. And grantors don't want to fund business owners, entrepreneurs, or startups who just simply want to just run through money. They want some impactful business owners who are compassionate about problem solving an actual problem, right? So yeah, that's what they're looking for. They're not looking for somebody who just want to take a $50,000 opportunity and invest it into crypto or whatever have you, and just get rich and then not come back and extend a helping hand to the community. That's not what they're looking for. That's why we're also seeing a lot of grants in the tech space, right? Because we're in the digital world now. So when you got, like, especially fintech apps, are like, has so much grant money. Medical tech has a lot of grant money. Anything in tech has grant money available, simply because, like, tech is new, it's innovative, it's the new wave, right? And if you can develop an app that will streamline or make a process more effective, efficient, yeah, like, definitely they'll give you a grant, like, instantly. If you can just prove why it's needed in the market and how it can be scalable, absolutely. Hey, how's it going? Good morning for you. We've been on here for like an hour already, but I just wanted to be on here for a while with you guys because if you don't know, welcome in. Resetting the room. All right, I'm Superior Shelby, a 71% successful grant writer and a 10-year entrepreneur in this grant space. And I'm not new to this, I'm true to this. I've written grants for so many different tech business owners and startups, nonprofits, organizations, schools, churches, you name it. And yeah, I come on YouTube and I show you guys how to search and apply to grants yourself, accelerator programs, and incubators. And I'm so happy that you're in the room with me. Now, this is my last week coming on live every day, 9 a.m. Eastern time. And that's because we're at the end of quarter one. And also, I think it's time for me to invest my time into other investments and other ideas that maybe God wants me to follow the direction in. So I hope that you utilize this time of a 10-year entrepreneur, small business development coach, a grant writer, and just ask me a lot of questions to give yourself clarity and reassurance on how to get some capital, that free capital that you don't have to pay back, no credit checks, no personal information needed. And yeah, okay. So I'm here for you. What questions do you have? Is that using tech or creating it? So creating it, right? So and that can be both, right? So you can have like this business where it's not really used. You don't really see tech in tech products or anything being used. So if you're going to incorporate tech into your new style of doing things, right, then that is called innovation, right? Innovation is just simply a word for the vocabulary for that is a new way of doing things, right? A new way of doing, let's say, flat ironing hair or drying hair. There might be a new tech tool that allows you to dry hair much more effective and efficiently, and nobody else is actually using this type of hair dryer, right? And it also could be like this hair dryer could be used by solar, whatever have you, right? Which is better for the environment. And because not a lot of hairstylists in your area or compared to your competitors, they don't use this type of hair dryer. Well, that means you're innovative, right? You have an innovative way of styling hair. And so because you're using this new tech tool, that can increase your chances of approvals with a grant because you're being so innovative. So it can be using a tech like a new tech innovation, and then that can be also creating it too. Could it be an addition or a tweaking of a current technology used? Yeah, it could be. Absolutely. Like me as a notary, using online notary technology, does that help? So yeah, but you gotta dive deeper into your market, right? I actually use online notaries have been around since I know for a fact, definitely since COVID, right? I've actually used multiple Florida online notaries, more than like 10 times for contracts that I have with other people and with other business owners. And when I was doing like collaborations and stuff, and so online notary has been around for a while. So it would have to be a new way of how you're doing online notary, right? They have also integrated with Zoom. So you have some online notary companies that have integrated with Zoom or like Google Meets and stuff. So you would definitely have to find a way that will be innovative and just like dive deeper into your market and just talk about how you're going to be different from other online notary providers. Mikhail or Michael, I need funding for an environmental company that conducts mold uh, remediation. Can you help? Yeah, so you can first have a full project projection plan, right? What that looks like and why you need the funding. So, where is this money going to? How much do you need? How much does it cost for this development? What are the phases of this? What does that look like? What is the marketing strategy behind this? What is the problem? How you're solving it? And what's the mission of this? And why should you be chosen for the opportunity? How is this, even though it's an environmental company and it's helping with mold remediation, well, is this something that can be only for your particular area or can it be used globally? If it can be used globally, then what does that look like? How many of these like particular devices are you or services are you going to be offering? What does your payroll team look like, right? And so you need to have a project projection plan or a business plan, a business pitch deck, and a 90-second pitch video, which is a 3-minute pitch video that really outlines, what's the problem, how you're solving it, introducing your company, how your company is helping the environment, right? And you definitely want to go for those types of grants that are for your type of company, right? So, and there's definitely grants out here for you. There's grants for all different types of businesses, no matter what type of business you're getting into or what stage you are, right? So yeah, I would say go for it. Now, the website that I use is grantwatch.com. That's grantwatch.com. Grantwatch.com. You can visit there. And I also have so many like other live streams that dive deeper into how to search and apply to grants yourself, When you hire a grant writer, there's a couple of things you need to know. One, on average, my my peers, they charge $1,000 per application, so it's quite expensive. And then two, we get paid up front for our creative writing skills and also the time it takes to search and apply to a grant for you. So it's actually quite more affordable if you take the time out to search and apply to the grant yourself. But if you would like a one-on-one consultation, it's only $100 with me. You can text the word grants to my number. I pinned my number at the top of this live stream in the chat. Hello, good morning. Thank you so much. Okay, Miss Cheryl says, do you think grants will be touched by our states, governments, or should companies rely on them for startups? So what I like so much about grants, especially the small business grants I talk about, they're not federally funded. So you do have some that are federally funded. Those are grants that you can find through grants.gov. Sorry, grants.gov. Those are high ticket grants, right? Those are grants that are like millions of dollars, $5 million, kind of operate like a government contract in a way. But the grants I talk about on my YouTube channel are not federally funded simply because there's so much going on politically. So I never really too much talk about government grants. I like to focus on the grants that are funded through private investors, private sectors, and other nonprofit organizations who are committed to small business development, and also by that is invested by these big companies, right? You have companies like Macy's, Sephora, Walmart, Amazon, Uber, DoorDash, Etsy, other e-commerce platforms, and Stanley, even the Stanley Cup, right? You have Instagram and Meta. They all give out grants because they're showing commitment to their users and to their community that they serve. And they're helping other startups and small business owners have the capital, the free capital that they need to get started, right? If you guys develop your companies, you'll have more money. You can invest into ads, like through social media. You can invest into whatever your product development needs. So there's like three different ways that you can get a grant. Yes, you can get grants that are through your local and state government, but you can also focus on those grants that are funded, like I said, through big entities like Macy's, Sephora, Walmart, and others. And then the others that are funded through like private sectors, investors, donators, and nonprofits like Hello Skip. Hello Skip is a federally certified nonprofit organization, and they use their streaming income and income from other sponsors and donators. Um, and they give out like a $10,000 grant every month and a $1,000 instant grant every week. So Hello Skip, right? You can go there, and it's an app you can actually download that provides a carousel or like a page full of different grants you can apply to. Hello Alice, the Fearless Fund. That's just to name a few, right? The Black Ambition Prize. Famous Amos is giving out a $50,000 grant right now to all small Black business owners. So, you can focus on other grants and don't like limit yourself, right? So you can go for so many other opportunities. Thank you. I'll be in touch. Okay, awesome. God bless you with a gift. Do not stop what you're doing. You are amazing and gifted. Do not stop this. The world needs a God-fearing woman like you. Don't stop. Oh, thank you so much, but I am. This is my last week because this is the last week of quarter one. When April 1st comes, it's time for me to change the direction of the conversation. I'm going to be targeting more tech companies, generating revenue generating businesses, and businesses that can show measurable impact. In my 10 years of doing this, and how I was able to develop a 71% successful grant writing rate is because the clients that I won grants for have a measurable impact. So whether you're generating revenue or you're not, you're able to show how you can actually generate revenue with this idea or this innovation. You are bringing something new to the table. You actually have some sort of measurable impact already, right? So if you are generating revenue, how you went from having 3 sales to now having 50 sales to now having 120 sales to now having 1,000 sales. You know what I mean? So, I want to focus more on those businesses because I have goals too. And I've been at 71% successful grant writing rate for the last almost 3 years. And I would like to be at like 85%. You know what I mean? So it's time to play in the big leagues. And not even going to lie, like I'm definitely afraid because I depend a lot on, like, let's say, for example, I do depend a lot on like my YouTube income, right? But because I don't live in the US, that has allowed me so much room to be able to um, have a space to think and have a space to be able to just come back to the drawing board and find like different ways of being able to, serve. There's like big tech innovations and ideas out here that truly need my help, and these are people who have developed a team and used their income, have taken out loans, and they can definitely use my help by getting this grant capital that they don't have to pay back, that will also put them in a room to network with other investors that they can get to really put these innovations out there. So I can't keep focusing on startups. You guys have more than enough content for free out here that I've been giving out, nothing but gems. So, enjoy this free content I have out here. Okay, great. That's what I needed to know. Thanks. You're welcome. I have to give back and help others, but this God's business startup. Yes, you earn it. Thank you. Yes. Yes, you guys. So yeah, like I said, I'm definitely fearful of it because of this transition myself. And I was talking about it earlier in this live stream. But for all of you guys who are new, I mean, procrastination and fears live within me too, even with me being a 10-year entrepreneur. I'm at this point right now where my YouTube numbers are going down, and I've also questioned myself and like had so much anxiety, feeling like, all right, am I not being impactful? And am I not like providing enough game? Like, what am I doing? And I've provided so much free gems that I really don't even know what else to say anymore. And I've came on YouTube every day, 9 a.m. Eastern time, even with me living in a totally different country on the other side of the world. And I really think is not you guys at all. Obviously, the content that I have is definitely like impactful, and it's something that you guys are truly using and you guys are very appreciative of. But the reach is not there, and that's I'm not putting it out on y'all. It's like that's literally God saying, I got another room I need to put you in, and you've done enough in this room. Like this Head Start room that you've been in, you've been doing Head Start schooling for a while. All right, it's time for you. Yeah, I need you to be a college professor now. You know what I mean? That's like the best analogy I can give. So I'm done with teaching Head Start. I'm done with teaching Head Start. It's time for me to get out of primary school and transition to being a actual a professor in this thing. Put on my laboratory coat, and it's time for me to be in my doctorate school with this thing because you know yes, stay with it. Thank you. Yes, you've been schooling my baby SSA. Thank you. Thank you so much. Yeah. So yeah, and what I was saying about procrastination and fear, because I know that I have to make this transition, right? Well, think about it. When I depend so much on one stream of income, which is YouTube, well, now it's like I'm not going to come on here all the time, right? I'm not going to. So that means my numbers are going to go down, and I don't know what that looks like, right? It's quite, it's scary. And so now I'm just kind of like, all right, well, God, what does this look like? I'm like so afraid. I don't know. But it's like I have so much content out here. I'm hoping that people just pick up on the content and start watching, binge watching my stuff. Um, and because I depend on this income to live outside the US, right? I'm in a totally different country, all that stuff. Like I depend on it. It's like to have to let that go. It is hurtful, right? It is hurtful. I'm definitely fearful, but I also have to push myself and I have to keep moving forward, right? Because if I don't, and I keep coming on here to say the same thing, and I keep doing the same exercises and having the same marketing strategy, and then I'm not showing you guys any type of elevation. I'm not showing you guys development, and I'm not being a good, you know, example to you guys. So I got to take a step back and get to the drawing board. And I want to make $1 million in 1 year. And so if I want to make $1 million in 1 year, that definitely takes for me to step back, take a look at what worked, what didn't work. All right, what's going on? All right, scratch that. Time to get to something new. I've invested since being living outside the US. And I've lived in two different countries. I lived in Panama. You guys saw me. A lot of you guys like met me when I was like living in Panama, and then now I live in Nigeria. So I've invested into agriculture, international real estate, and also I'm a co-founder to two tech companies. One is general service, the other one is a fintech app. So I need to put some energy into those things. And yes, I'm still going to depend a little bit for a little while on the YouTube check, right? But it may be a slow roll, but it's going to be worth it. And I'm just trusting God in the entire process. 100%, 100%, 100%. And it is hard, but I'm doing it. All right, you got it. Yes. Last question. Becoming a mobile notary. Is this a grant use idea? Be encouraged. Only what you can do for Christ will last. Absolutely. A mobile notary. Yeah. So any type of to answer your question, yeah, we have another uh, online notary as well that's in the chat with us. And yeah, so any business, no matter what it is, you can get a grant for. It's just all about the mission, right? You want to make sure that your business mission aligns with the grantor's mission, right? So if you would go for more of those consulting type of grants or what they call professional services, and when you go for those grants, you have to explain to them why your professional service is really needed, and what makes you like kind of different, innovative, right? How do you do online notary or mobile notary? There's mobile notaries out here, right? So what's making you different from your competition? So yeah, you have spoke it. Watch what the Most High will do. You will be overwhelmed with an abundance of exposure in a great way. Thank you so much. Yeah, yep. I pray that it happens really soon, but I'm patient, and it's actually quite hard, right? It is hard when you put so much pressure on yourself. It is quite hard to like just kind of chill and just wait on the Lord to speak to you. But I prayed so hard in church on Sunday, and like I was literally crying out to God, like, God, you have blessed me with an amazing business, so much skill, so much knowledge. I have great ideas, and it's like I don't know what to do or what direction to go into. So I'm crying out to you, oh Lord, asking that I'm waiting on you patiently. I'm waiting on you. I literally, I'm in the waiting room, I feel like, and I'm waiting on you. But I'm just asking humbly, like, please, can you just give me an execution strategy to start executing? Maybe it's time for me to relax. I think that it's like, okay, cool. Relax real quick. I'm going to move this around for you, put these people over here. I got to make sure these people have the finances to come over here to Nigeria. And I need for you to make sure, I need to make sure that these people come to there. So I got to make some moves. I got to make something shake over here before I can come to you and tell you what to do. So for right now, just chill. And I just like kind of what I feel like is going on. And it's hard to chill. It's hard because I love to execute. And I'm the type of person that when I have the means, so when I have the finances, when I have the education and I have the network, I'm like a light beam. I don't sit down. I'm out of here to infinity and beyond. Like, and God knows that about me. So it's a thing where, yeah, I gotta chill because I will take it to the max. We'll take it to the max. And it's like you might, in the midst of that, you might help the wrong people that ain't supposed to be helped, show because you're doing things too fast. So you gotta slow down, you gotta chill. Okay. You are a favorite. Like, my mission is serving underserved communities. My slogan, I go where most notaries won't go. Awesome. So how does the end then so serving underserved communities, what does that look like? And how do you actually do that? So do you have affordable prices? What makes so like, all of that needs to be in your business plan. And I think you'll be great. You will be great. Great. Ask God to order your steps. Psalms 119, verse 1 of 133. Yes. Your favorite Shelby, you're up next. Oh, I pray that I am. All right, great day. Hi. Question: do you think that I should apply for grant funding to go into partnership with a new restaurant? I've been in business for 7 years as a catering chef. Yeah, you can apply to a grant for that. What makes your cuisine so different? There's grants out here specifically for your type of business industry, and also go for grants that are targeted towards you as a individual. So say you're a catering chef that is a veteran, right? You used to serve in the army, and then you got into chef like cooking because it's something that, I don't know, that helps with PTSD, something. I'm just giving an example, right? Or let's say you are a minority owned chef, or you're a minority chef, so you can be a Latino or a person of color, and your cuisines are very cultured, right? And you tell a story in your dishes, and you plan to partner with this other restaurant that is going to be able to create more awareness around your cultured dishes, right? So what I advise is that you have a business plan about your entire strategy, like what your goals are for your, like, your business, and explain like what your most requested dish is, like what's the dish that most people love. And definitely do a pitch deck, right? A pitch deck is a PowerPoint version of your business plan. Have some pictures in the slides, right, of your actual cuisines, and then do a video. Do like a 3-minute cooking video on, hey, my name is so and so, and while I'm cooking this, one of my most requested dishes, I'm going to tell you about why you choosing me for this opportunity will help increase awareness around my mission and my business mission, and how my mission aligns with your opportunity, right? And then so you'll be chefing it up. Everybody loves cooking videos, so you'll be chefing it up, and then you'll be talking about the dish. You'll be talking about your business mission. You'll be talking about what you plan to do, what your goals are. And if you were awarded the opportunity, you'll be able to, and then you can literally finish it like with the dish that you've completed. And you can say, I'll be able to continue to feed the world like with cultural dishes like this, and teaching them all about where I'm from and how important it is to spread the love. And yeah, you can even throw in there, most people know that your first love starts in the stomach. So, feeding people is something that I love to do, and it brings a smile on everybody's faces. And with my dishes, I'll be able to continue to do that all around the world, right? So, yeah, just create a business plan, a pitch deck, and a 3-minute pitch video, and really explain, like, how you're innovative and how you're different. And I think that you would be really good for grant opportunities. Just make sure your mission aligns with these grant missions. I have so many videos and even courses for less than $40. All of my courses are like $30 to $35. Um, and they teach you about how to search and apply to grants, and how to write a pitch video, and how to write a business plan and a pitch deck. And last week I went over how to develop a pitch video, so you can take a look at that live stream. And yeah, so good luck. You can ask me more questions. We're on here. You have helped me. I'm glad for the replays. I'm 62, starting into business and wanting to do it correctly. I have to stop procrastinating. Absolutely. Um, love to hear your startup. Oh, okay, this is awesome. You guys are communicating in the chat. So yeah, I really do. I'm really happy that I'm helping you guys and motivating you guys to push forward. Push forward. Yeah, there's a lot of grants for food service business. Actually, DoorDash has one, $10,000. Yeah. Yeah, DoorDash gives out a $10,000 grant. It's quite cool too. So yeah. What other questions do you guys have? Yeah. So I'll probably be on here for like another 30 minutes. So like we're kind of like in our last 30 minutes. But for those of you who are coming in, hey everybody, I'm Superior Shelby. I'm a 71% successful grant writer, and in this live stream, I'm giving you guys a safe space to ask me questions about how to search and apply to grants. This is the last week of quarter 1, and I'm dedicating my time and my days to hop on a YouTube live every morning, 9 a.m. Eastern time for this last week of quarter 1. So you can have that safe space to be vulnerable enough to say, hey, I'm developing a company. I just need clarity and reassurance to make sure that I am doing this right. And I also want to go for some debt free opportunities that I simply don't have to pay back, no credit checks, no personal information needed, and I don't have to provide any bank statements for. So, yes, I love grants. Grants have definitely changed my entire life from me actually learning about how they work. I got like one of my first grants a long time, well, besides like school grants, because I was getting school Pell grants and stuff. But yeah, you guys kind of know the story. I got one of my first grants when I went through a really challenging time with my own trucking business. I got into transportation, trucking transportation. I did car hauling simply because it was something that everybody was doing. So I was like following a trend. Never follow trends. Make sure you follow your heart and what God wants you to do. Okay, have an actual business mission. I just got into it because I wanted to make money. And the worst case scenario happened. My truck was driving down from Virginia back to Miami and the engine blew. I lost a 30-year experience truck driver, which like was very challenging for me because he was so trustworthy. And then also my truck, like I spent so much money trying to get that money that truck down, um, towed and everything, right? And so I went for an SBA opportunity. A SBA grant at the time. This was when they were still doing grants. They don't even do them anymore. And I was able to get a grant. And so at the time, I was actually doing credit consulting at the same time too for other like for everybody, but majority of my clients they were in like the transportation company industry. And so I started applying to grants for the other women who own trucks, and they start winning these grants. So then that's when I transitioned from out of credit consulting, and I got into writing grants. So I've been doing this for a while. So me myself, I've gotten grants. I've gotten grants for other businesses. The most I've ever gotten some like one client for a grant is $2.5 million. And so that was for like an environmental power plant type of project. And anything environmental, anything in tech, you're going to get millions of dollars as long as you can literally outline step by step and phases exactly how you use this money, right? And so that was like a government grant. Um, I don't go for micro grants. Micro grants are like those $200 to $500 to like $2,000. Like all of the grants that I apply to myself, they're at least like $2,500 or more. Because you want to get a return on your investment as far as in like the time that you spend in on applying to these grants. And there's so many different ways that you could win a grant too. Hey Douglas. Douglas says, "What do I need to apply for this grant? I have my commercial bank account. What do I need more?" Well, you need a business plan, right? Because the grantors want to know how are you going to actually use this money. If we give you, let's say, $100,000, well, what is the plan of how you would use it? And actually, tell us a little bit more about your business. So the grantors want to know. What is your business? What is the problem? How are you solving it? What is your mission? What is the vision for the business and what's the value of it? What differentiates you from your competitors and how are you innovative? What are your income goals and how do you plan to use this money? If we gave you $100,000, break it up for us and give us like some sort of spreadsheet that outlines how you would use it. Um, and then how would this grant be impactful? Once you've told us how you would use it, how would it be impactful, right? So you want to have a business plan. Some grants actually require you to do a grant proposal. So with those type of grants that ask you to do a grant proposal, you would do something more tailored. So you would actually name the grant in your proposal and give them everything that they're asking for. I go over that in my course. And then also, you want to have what's called a pitch deck. So a pitch deck or a brand deck, some people call it a brand deck, is the PowerPoint version of your business plan. So it has pictures, it has your logo in it, and it literally has all of the key indicating factors that your business plan has. So it's just that aesthetically appealing piece, right? It's just straightforward and direct. Here's the product, here's the problem, here's the solution, here's the mission, here's the vision, here's the values, here's the funding. impact, right? And then here's how you can contact us. Very direct. And then you want to have what's called a 90-second pitch video, which is a 3-minute video about your services and products. And right in this video, it needs to be very compassionate. And it needs to be, okay, sorry. And it needs to be, okay, cool. And it needs to be impactful. It needs to be very, like they say, clear, concise, and compassionate. Hmm. So yeah, that's what you need more. And I have so many live streams like walking you through how to do like a pitch video. Hmm. What you need to have in a business plan. I have some short videos on that, like that are like less than 2 minutes that tell you all this stuff. So yeah. How can I sign up for your course? So my courses are on Etsy. You can visit etsy.com/superior solutions. I'll put it in here. Um, and I have a list of different courses. So I'll put the link in here for you guys. And let me see here. I'll put my Etsy store link in here. Here we go. superiorsolution.etsy.com. There you go. So I'm going to put it in here for you. superiorsolution.etsy.com. I'll put the link in the chat for you. And you'll see like all of my courses there and stuff like that. So how to get a UEI number, which is really beneficial to those who want to get into like government contracting and getting more government grant opportunities, because you need to have a unique entity identification number. It's totally different from like your EIN number. It's like a totally different number. So I have a course on that, how to use some AI tools to make your business plan and pitch deck. I have a course on intro to debt-free opportunities, which is like my new one. So it teaches you about how to search and apply to grants, incubator programs, accelerators, how to get angel investors. So it's really cool. Yeah. And I'm going to start producing more courses too, like kind of breaking down more of what you guys might need. So since I'm on like this, going to be going on this hiatus, at least you'll have the courses you can purchase that will give you more insight. Yeah. And for all of my channel members, I've decided that I will still come on here on Sundays, only for the channel members. But I'm probably going to break that up in a way that, like, if you in different ways that you are subscribed, right? So if you like pay $3 a month, then I'll only like provide to you like walkthrough videos and pre-recorded videos. If you are paying like a higher tier, then that's when like I'll do a live stream. You'll have access to the live stream, and we can just like have a much more intimate setting. So yeah, that's what I'll be doing, because it's time to monetize these things, you guys. Yes. So what other questions do you guys have about grants? This has been like really fun. We're like going into our last 15 minutes of this thing. And there has been some really, really good questions since I started this live stream. We've been on here for almost 2 hours. Your startup, okay. Insurances are needed for a company. Is the money from the grant paying employees? Wait. Okay. So let me make sure I understand. Startup. Okay, so insurances are needed for a company. Is the money from the grant paying employees? Is this added into the request for a grant? Okay. Okay, so I think you're asking, so insurances are needed for a company. Is this money from the grant? So can you use grant money? Okay, will you need money for insurances? Depending on like what type of business you have, right? It all depends. Like, I don't pay for business insurance. That's just a waste of money. Insurance is a scam to me. I don't care what nobody say. But if you have like a trucking company, obviously you have to pay insurances because that comes with the type of business you have. You can't operate your trucking transportation company without having a business insurance. So if you have an actual mobile vehicle, a company vehicle, yes, you have to pay insurances. But anything else outside of that, nah, I just have a lawyer. Yeah, nah, I just have a lawyer. That's the only insurance I need. And I'm only paying the lawyer when I need her. That's it. No need in building extra like business expenses that like can overinflate your business overhead. Like I don't believe in that. Only pay for what you need. And so with paying employees, is it added into the request for the grant? Yes. So you can say how you are going to be uh, you will use this grant to increase your payroll because you need more hands on deck to develop your product or service, right? To enhance the quality of your product or service, So especially if you have like a restaurant, well, we'll be able to hire more hostess, and more servers, which will make this service more effective and efficient because we'll have more people, more hands on deck, to get things done quickly. Yes, great question. Really great question. All right, so you guys, we are in the last 15 minutes of the live stream. And I want to know if you guys have any other questions about grants or anything like that. Just to help you guys answer some like frequently asked questions that I usually get. Grants turnaround times, they're all different, right? Because each grant application or grant opportunity has what's called a grant timeline. So what I advise is that when you come across a grant, so say you go to grantwatch.com or use Hello Skip, Hello Alice, any of the grant search engines and apps, and um, and you go to the grant, experience is the best teacher, right? So I would go through the grant application first before I even apply to reassure yourself on what is actually needed to submit the grant. So you would go through the application first, and then you would say, okay, well, I see this grant needs a business plan. I don't have one, so I need to develop a business plan before I apply. I see this grant, the deadline date for it is March 31st, but they're actually not choosing winners until May 10th. So I need to make sure I, you know, put something on my calendar that I need to check the grant or check for a correspondence on or around May 10th, right? So you got to set yourself up for success. So go through the actual application first to reassure yourself on what's needed for this grant application. Because each grant timeline is different. Like the Honeycomb Credit $10,000 grant, that's for everybody, right? That grant started back in February. Well, the deadline date for that one is April 2nd. And then they're not going to choose a winner until April 11th, right? So with that being said, you had since February, March, and the 1st of April, so pretty much almost 3 months to apply to this grant. And they're not going to choose a winner until April 11th. And then they will let you know when they're going to deposit the funds in your business bank account. So make sure you go through the grant details first and go through the grant application so you can know what's needed for this application before you just go on a whim. Okay. And not all of them are long. Some of them take you 2 minutes to apply to. Some of them do take you hours. So that's why I said go through the application first. Monica says, do you know anything about grants for micro schools? No, I don't. I haven't been to school in a long time. I haven't been to school in a very long time. So no, unfortunately, I don't. Are we talking about Pell Grants or are you developing your own school? And you can use grantwatch.com, Monica. Grantwatch, like watch.com, to search and apply to grants that serve in your favor. It's very easy to use. It's $45 a month So it does cost a subscription for you to be able to get the grant details, but it's so worth it because it breaks down in the most comprehensive way ever. Very simplified, and you can use the filters that are in place to narrow down to the grants that serve in your favor in your local area, that's targeted towards your mission, right? So if you are creating, let's say, a Head Start program or something like that, then yeah, micro schools are small schools parents would use in lieu of public schools. Okay, got you. So yeah, I don't know. I don't have children, so I wouldn't know. And also, I don't live in the U.S. I haven't lived in the U.S. in like almost like in 3 years. So yeah, I wouldn't know. I haven't searched for any type of grants or scholarships or anything like that. But I would suggest using grantwatch.com. That's a grant search engine for all grants, whether it's school, Pell grants, or grants for you developing a school or whatever have you. Uh, what other questions do you guys have? You're very welcome. It's my pleasure. In the last 10 minutes, for those of you who are coming in, I'm a 71% successful grant writer. My name is Superior Shelby. I've been writing grants for 10 years. I'm not new to this, I'm true to this, and I've helped so many different startups, small business owners, tech ideas, and innovations and private sectors get grant funding. And I'm so happy that you're here because that means you're interested in getting some debt-free money that you don't have to pay back, and that doesn't require you to provide any type of, you know, documentation. So welcome in. And in this last 10 minutes of my live stream, I'm opening up the floor for you guys to ask me any questions that you might have regarding how to search and apply to grants and stuff. This is also my last week in quarter 1. This is my last week coming on here and giving out so much free game. Do you write grants for individuals? Are you just an advisor? Yes, but I have a certain target audience. You must already be generating revenue. You got to already have your business plan and stuff like that ready. I'm changing my target audience specifically to tech companies and revenue generating businesses. Businesses that can show at least 2 years worth of business taxes, things like that, and that can show measurable impact. Simply because those are majority of the businesses that I noticed that actually get like almost instant approvals for these grants. So yeah. So for now, also hiring a grant writer is not cheap, you guys. Most medium enterprises and small business owners hire grant writers on their payroll team. Grants serve as an extra stream of income for your business, and it's something that you can write off on your taxes. It's taxable income. There you go. And um, a grant writer costs about $1,000 per application. And grant writers get paid up front. We don't get paid on the back end because that's against our code of ethics. So you would have to pay up front. We get paid up front for our creative writing skills and also for our time that it takes to search and apply to the grants, right? So I wanted to give you reassurance on what that looks like when you're hiring a grant writer, because it's not like you just hire somebody that just put in a simple application. No, if you come across somebody on TikTok, which brings me to this, I've noticed that there's some people that have been on TikTok, or I've even gotten a question from my client that her friend found somebody on TikTok that was charging like $50 to submit an application, but then turned around and asked her for $1,000, and she was quite confused. It's important to do your research, right? So um, my website has my certifications, has my video testimonials, and everything that you need to know about me. You can even Google me, right? And it's important for you to do research on these people. If you come across somebody who's just talking and they don't have certifications, they're not a certified grant writer, how you would know this is, one, they need to have a website, right? You need to go to their website, you need to check what's going on there. And I'm not talking about a go high level, just put together landing page. Like I'm talking about something more thorough, like an actual website. You can visit my website. It's superchargemybusiness.com. And it's something that you want to do. Do your research first. And then ask detailed questions, right? About what what their years of experience, right? Who they've helped, things like that, right? And I have testimonials of so many different types of business owners, from Black, white, Latino, like all types of different business owners all across the world that have said, this woman has helped me. I have actual testimonials, even on my Etsy store, that's helped me get to like a 4.7 star rating right now, that have said her courses have actually gave me clarity and helped me. So do your research, because not everybody on TikTok is your friend. Okay. Um, so yeah. People don't respect the grant writing it. Well, I think just people don't, they hear grant and they understand that grants are debt-free opportunities, but they don't really look at it as like, because they don't understand the time that it takes to write a grant. Like if you say I need $200,000 in funding, well, that means that I will have to, I can't just write one grant for you. That's 200K. No, that's not how this works. Like I will have to go for multiple opportunities that total up to 200,000, and there's no guarantee. So the time that it takes for me to write the grant, and the fact that we don't use AI, right? You can't use AI on these grant applications. So that means I have to put myself in your shoes and act as the business owner for every business that I write a grant for, and which can be quite challenging, right? Because you're trying to think of different ways to apply to this grant for maybe the same type of business but different business owners, right? And so it takes creative writing skills for sure. And I think it's just, that's why I put so much information out here on YouTube showing you guys how to search and apply to grants yourself, so you can actually go and get your experience in this sector, and then you can come back and say, okay, I've tried it, you got this, how do I pay you? Because I don't have time, or this is something that's beyond my scope. I respect those who actually tried searching and applying to grants themselves and taking the time out themselves, versus people who just like simply want like a quick opportunity, and that's just not who I'm targeting. Good information. Thank you. I understand that you are leaving this level of interaction. How do we continue to follow you? Yes, Monica. So I have so much really good free content on here. And so you can subscribe to my channel, honestly, obviously. And then if you want to have like a one-on-one consultation, I offer that too. It's $100. It's 45 minutes Zoom. And then also I have digital courses on Etsy. So I did put my Etsy store link inside of the chat somewhere. It's superiorsolution.etsy.com. So you can, take a look at my courses. And I'm going to still continue to drop, some pre-recorded videos and content and stuff. But the daily live streams, this is the last week of me doing this. So we are in the last 5 minutes of our amazing live stream. I've been on here for almost 2 hours, and I feel like dedicating 2 hours is more than enough on a Tuesday morning for you guys. Just, trying to extend that help and, offer as much free game as I can for you guys. So any last minute questions before I let you go for the day? I'm subscribing. I'm on your Etsy shop. Thanks. Oh, it's my pleasure. My pleasure. Any last minute questions? It has been fun coming on here, a 2 hour live stream, which is really dedicated. But I was like, I want to do like a longer live stream, this week, just kind of give you guys all the chance to come on here and just ask me questions. So yeah. hmm And I still have so much free content on here. Like sometimes I'm dropping some nuggets in these live streams that you just, even if you play them in your background. And the cool thing about these live streams in YouTube is that you can stop the video, you can pause it, you can rewind it. If you feel like I've dropped a gem and you're like, okay, let me go back to like 30 seconds to what she said. And then just get your notebooks really quick and jot it down, even if you're in the middle of vacuuming or washing dishes. Like, I know some people, they play my videos in the background just in case I might drop some gems that um, that can really help them with creating extra stream of income. So yeah, yeah. Especially within these last 2 weeks, a lot has went into the thought of how to like help prepare you guys for grants and stuff. So yeah. hmm Any last questions, you guys? We're gonna get off of here in a few minutes. I'm happy that I was helping you guys learn about grants. Grants is something that truly changed my life. It's helped me develop a income stream that I never thought that I can get into. I've helped a lot of people search and apply to grants, and I'm at this point now where I'm going to start targeting. Like I said, I'm getting out of school to you guys in the Head Start program, and I'm going into being a college professor at this thing and talking more to the ones who are already experienced in the entrepreneurial world. There's people out here that need my help that are already generating revenue, so I'm hoping that I can start targeting them. And when April 1st comes, the entire conversation is going to change. We're going to be more into tech companies and more into um, helping those businesses that already generate revenue. Um, but so much good content that's on here for sure. And I'm scared of the transition as well as a lot of you guys may procrastinate because you might be fearful of the next step or the next level. But I feel you. I'm at the same point right now, and I'm trusting God, trusting the process. So we're all in this together. I hope you guys enjoy the rest of your Tuesday. Thank you so much for joining me, and I will do my best to try to come on here tomorrow. Can't make any promises, right? If God's willing, I'll be on here tomorrow, same time, 9 a.m. Eastern time. And keep in mind, this is my last week doing this, so definitely tell your friends or whatever have you, so that way other people can know about grants and we can just increase the awareness about it. I just shared your info on all platforms. Thank you, Shellyana. I'm hoping I'm saying it correctly, your name. But thank you so much, you guys, and enjoy the rest. Enjoy the rest of your day. Okay, I'll see you tomorrow if God's willing. Bye.